Apple was a spirited 8-year-old with long black hair that bounced as she ran, and a smile as bright as the summer sun. Her giggles could light up a room, and her curiosity was as boundless as the sky. But there was one thing Apple loved more than anything else in the world: water parks. For weeks, Apple had been pestering her parents about a new water park that had opened on the edge of town, Splash World Adventure. It was all she could think about. "Mom! Dad! Did you know they have a slide that goes through a shark tank and a lazy river that glows in the dark?" She had studied every single ride and attraction on the park's website like it was her favorite storybook. Her parents couldn't resist her excitement any longer, so on a bright Saturday morning, they decided it was finally time to go. Apple woke up earlier than anyone else in the house that day, already dressed in her purple and yellow swimsuit underneath her favorite overalls. Her backpack was stuffed with sunscreen, goggles, and a water bottle, and she stood by the door with her sandals on, ready to race out the second her parents said the word. "Are you excited, Apple?" her dad asked, laughing as he grabbed the car keys. "Excited? I've been dreaming about this forever," she said, practically bouncing with joy. The moment they arrived at Splash World Adventure, Apple's eyes grew as wide as saucers. The entrance was a burst of color, with giant arches shaped like waves and fountains spraying water high into the air. The sound of splashing water and happy laughter filled the air, and Apple couldn't wait to dive into the fun. "Where do you want to start?" her mom asked. "The Typhoon Twister," Apple said without a second of hesitation, pointing to a giant blue water slide that twisted and looped like a roller coaster. Her dad raised an eyebrow. "Are you sure? That one's pretty tall." "I'm not scared," Apple declared, standing on her tiptoes to look taller. "I'm brave." She climbed the long, winding staircase to the top of the slide, her heart thumping with excitement. The view from up there was incredible. She could see the whole park. When it was her turn, she sat down at the top of the slide, gripping the edges tightly. The lifeguard smiled and gave her a thumbs up. Apple took a deep breath and pushed off. "Whee!" she squealed as she zoomed down the slide, twisting and turning through tunnels and curves. The wind rushed past her face, and for a moment, it felt like she was soaring through the sky. When she splashed into the pool at the bottom, she came up laughing, her wavy hair dripping with water. Next, she ran to the wave pool. The water rose and fell like the ocean, and Apple loved jumping over the waves as they splashed against her. Then she discovered the Coral Cove Kiddie Zone, where she climbed aboard a pirate ship and aimed water cannons at other kids, giggling as they splashed back. But her absolute favorite part of the day was the Glow River, a magical, lazy river that shimmered with neon colors under a shaded tunnel. Apple floated on an inflatable tube, her hands trailing in the glowing water, imagining she was exploring a secret underwater kingdom. The hours flew by faster than Apple could believe, and soon, the sky began to turn shades of pink and orange as the sun set. Her parents told her it was time to leave, but Apple's face was still glowing with happiness. As they walked back to the car, Apple turned to her parents with a hopeful grin. "This was the best day ever. Can we come back next weekend?" Her dad laughed and ruffled her wavy hair. "We'll see, water adventurer." Apple smiled, hugging her backpack tightly. She already knew she'd dream about the water slides, the glowing river, and all the adventures she'd had. For Apple, the city's water park had officially become the most magical place in the world.